Hi, I'm Becky Sturdy, and I'll be your student's calculus teacher this year. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and our class. Okay, so your student is taking Calculus AB, so we will be preparing them for the Calculus AP test, which will be in the spring. So first, a little about me. Like I said, my name is Becky Sturdy. I've been at LT since 2005. I went to college at a small school called Wilson College in Pennsylvania, and then did a few years as a computer programmer, returned to school for a master's in math ed, and after that, started at LT, and I've been here ever since. For fun, school activities that I like to help with are the LT math team home meets, especially like with grading, and oddly, I like more grading. And the grading practices committees, I also like going to see when my students are in sporting events or in theater productions. Outside of school, I like to ride and take care of my horse named Red, who I got off the racetrack when he was 3. And I love listening to podcasts, especially about true crime, interesting history. Okay, so we are virtual this year. And even though we're virtual, the College Board has not adjusted the curriculum as of this time. So we are going to do our best to get everything out there to our students and make sure they are fully prepared for May. So that I have 2 parts to our work. We have asynchronous, which is kind of like homework. It's what they're going to work on when we're not meeting in a Zoom session, and then what we work on together in our Zoom classes. So asynchronous, expect students to watch and take notes using the notes worksheets and watching the videos that I put out on Canvas. And I try to keep them short, usually about 15 minutes. Some will be a little longer, some will be a little shorter. And these videos cover the essentials of each concept that we're going to then talk about in class together. There will also be a practice worksheet that covers different types of problems with that topic. And then there'll be reviews on a website called Delta Math. Now in class then, we usually have an opening activity or a question that could be review from even a previous unit, or even pre-calculus topics that they need to keep under their thumb to keep fresh. And then they also could be just interesting things that will get us ready for a discussion in a group. Then we'll go over questions on the notes video as well as the homework worksheet. And after that, we'll either do small group practice, individual practice. Sometimes there'll be questions actually on the College Board website, so they're preparing for the AP exam. And also it'll give me a time to check in with students that might need a little extra help individually as needed. So of course, everybody wants to know how they're going to get graded. So we'll have formative assessments, which do not count for their semester grade. And those will be, the notes, worksheets, and videos, anything they submit through Canvas for me to give them feedback on. What would have been traditionally called a quiz, and those will also be on Canvas, and we call them Canvas quizzes. And those, again, I'll be able to give them feedback on specific problems, including how they write their mathematics, because that is a part of the AP exam, and anything that we do on Delta Math. Now, a summative will be our unit tests, and these are something they can retake if they don't like their score up to 2 weeks after the original test date, but they do need to have completed all the formative work going up to that unit test in order to make sure that they are prepared and we can cover any questions that they got wrong on the first test to make sure they don't make the same mistakes twice. All right, if they're going to be successful in calculus and of course be successful then on the AP exam, they do need to be prepared every day in our Zoom sessions by watching the video notes and doing the homework problems on the worksheets. They should also be checking those answers before they come to class, so that way we aren't spending extra class time with me just showing them answers and waiting for people to check their work, and of course asking questions. And those questions can be asked during our Zoom sessions, or they could also be emailed to me ahead of time, and a lot of times I can either respond by email and get them cleared up, or I'll kind of keep tabs on those questions and we'll go over them together as a class. One of the great resources we are going to use is AP Classroom, and if students want to watch extra videos or do extra practice, they have accounts on that and they can always go there even if it's not assigned. All right, our Canvas class page kind of keeps track of everything for us. So it's a calendar setup, so they'll know what we're going to do in class. And that includes what do we start with, what are we going over as far as questions, and what kind of practice or formatives we're going to do after questions are answered. And then their assignment will be a combination of either notes, videos with a worksheet. It could be extra practice on Delta Math, and all the links for those are also on Canvas. I will always post the solutions to worksheets, and there'll be even review worksheets as well when we're getting ready for a summative. And if they ever want to use the Canvas app on their phone, it works very well also for not only going to our calendar page and seeing what we're working on, but also to upload their work later. So one thing they can use to upload their work is called CamScan. They can also use the notes feature on their phone, whatever they want that scans their work into a PDF, and then they can then submit straight to Canvas. And then what I can do is either type or actually write comments on their work and get feedback to them so they know how they're doing. We also use, as I mentioned, Delta Math. Edpuzzle is where our videos are stored, and that website gives me an option to be able to actually pause videos for students to answer questions, similar as if I'd been giving the notes live in class when I would stop and ask students questions. And then they can type in their answers and check their work before the video continues. This is not a site they actually have to keep track of on their own. That's linked right from Canvas. We will also use Desmos for activities as well as online graphing. Padlet's a good website that we use for class discussions. And then, of course, as I mentioned, AP Classroom, which also has help videos. It has practice questions. It has specific feedback questions that students can fill out, and it will give them feedback if they get their answer wrong and kind of give them, here's probably what you did and what you should check for. All right, important dates coming up. The exam is currently scheduled for the beginning of May, and students need to order their exam on the LT website by November 6th in order to avoid late fees and that sort of thing. And from there, we will be preparing for, of course, the AP test. Typically, we go through all the course material and then try to leave about 4 weeks to 5 weeks for AP review and practice the multiple choice and the free response questions. And in doing so, it helps us also, instead of just not using it for new material, we use it to take then all the new material they've learned all year and kind of put it together and see how all of it connects into this big world of calculus. Now, if they need extra help, of course, they can always email me, in between class times and let me know they've got questions. Otherwise, they can always ask during class, whether it's, using the microphone, or they can always input them into the chat feature of Zoom. If they want to schedule an extra help session over Zoom, they can let me know. I will also be scheduling extra help sessions prior to summative assessments, kind of like a drop-in, as if we were in school and they could just drop by my room to ask questions. There are also extra practice options on Delta Math, and they have very good guided videos similar to AP Classroom. And that way it's an extra video with someone explaining things that's not just me from our regular notes videos. And I hope we're gonna have a great year and everybody will get ready and take that AP exam in May and get some college credit. And if you have any questions for me, please drop me an email and let me know. I'd love to hear from parents as well as students, and hopefully see everybody in person soon.